This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock.
Hello, and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and we are continuing the push for the top 1200 Mythic well into the night. So this is another post-action recording of the intro and outro. You see, happy, refreshed, not that tired CGB, but the video contains a little bit of tired CGB as he tries to make top 1200 Mythic on the last day of season, and we get to run a beautiful deck, a deck of dreams, you might say, a blue and white control deck that does actually a lot of like big Timmy powerful spell things, because if you're allowed to make it into the mid and late game, all of a sudden this deck starts absolutely dropping bombs on the opponents. Yorion type bombs. Okay, so Yorion's not the main point of the deck. There aren't that many things to flicker with it. We've got 2 Omen of the Sun, we've got 4 Omen of the Sea, and we can flicker our Maze Mind Tomes and our Birth of Meletis and our Glass Casket, but it's not totally the point. This is more of a big spell deck that ends games with Shark Typhoon, Banish into Fable, a card that I made a blue-white video with last season. Not many people saw it. It was one of the lower viewed videos, so maybe you guys still don't know about this, but this card is insanely powerful when you get into the mid to late game. Being able to bounce an opponent's whole board, make a whole bunch of 2/2 night tokens with vigilance, just kind of swings the momentum in a dramatic way and puts them on a clock. Now, say that on their turn. You cast Banish into Fable, you bounce a bunch of their stuff, you make all 3 night tokens. What do you do on the next turn to follow it up? Alrund's Epiphany, make 2 birds, and attack for 6 with the night tokens, untap, do it again. Like, that's an insane amount of pressure out of nowhere. So this deck, unlike the black-blue Biblioplex deck that I played earlier as a control deck for the format, it ground the opponent to dust, games took an hour. This deck turns the corner fast and true. It does have some new cards if you're looking for those. I included a Test of Talents because Zenith Flare and Emergent Ultimatum are 2 cards that I really want to completely exile from the opponent's deck, and nobody's going to cry when we get rid of Drown in the Lock or Into the Story either. And then we have Divide by Zero. Divide by Zero is a new card. Return target spell or permanent with mana value 1 or greater to its owner's hand and learn. Of the cards that I didn't really see anybody talking about and haven't seen many people playing from Strixhaven, this one's probably my favorite. It's really close to bounce a spell, or it's close to Remand, which is an old school card that returned a spell to owner's hand and drew a card. And this one, just being able to shut down a big spell and then go fetch a card from the sideboard, it puts you quite a ways ahead. But this deck has some particularly cool lines with Divide by Zero. For one thing, you can return your own spells and your own permanents to hand. So if I just buy back a Birth of Meletis, I can have another wall and another plains. If I buy back an Omen of the Sea, I get to use that ability again. That's pretty cool. But when you get into a counterspell fight, a cool thing that can happen is, what if you cast your Saw It Coming and the opponent counters your Saw It Coming? You can cast Divide by Zero, and I think most people would counter the opponent's counterspell, but I can bounce my own Saw It Coming so that the opponent's counterspell misses completely, and then I can cast my Saw It Coming again in the future, or if I have the mana right away on the same spell, I was going to counter anyway. So there are some sick lines with Divide by Zero that you don't usually see. It also doesn't counter a spell, it returns it. So we can use this on a Coma, for example, that normally can't be countered. You can bounce it back to the opponent's hand and stall them a little bit longer. All this bouncing things to people's hand makes the Wish board have a few copies of Teaching of the Archaics, and it really works. We have a number of foretell cards like Alrund's Epiphany, Saw It Coming, and Doomscar that can keep our hand size small. We have Banish into Fable ×4, so we can bounce 3 of the opponent's permanents back to their hand, and then when we cast Teachings of the Archaics, it's pretty trivial to draw 2 cards or 3 cards. It's actually really nice. So I actually have 2 copies, whereas normally I would never have more than 1. If you are way behind in cards and you cast Teachings of the Archaics and draw some cards, the odds of you getting to do it again in the future are very low, but this deck specifically with Banish into Fable gets the job done, so that you can cast multiples of these and just always keep going and keep up with your opponent on cards, even though you're using a lot of bounce cards instead of traditional removal. And then we have Mascot Exhibitions, which are one of the win cons for the deck if the Banish into Fable isn't getting it done and the Shark Typhoon isn't getting it done. And we have Environmental Sciences because hitting land drops is so crucial with this deck. I have 2 copies because you may need to fetch multiples of them to hit every single land drop, because you have to get up to 6 or 7 mana for this deck to start doing its thing. It's a really interesting and fun way to attack the meta in blue-white, which isn't a popular color combination at the moment. So I think you guys are really going to enjoy this one if you like alternative styles of control. It's definitely better against mid-range and control decks. Aggro decks, it is really hard to win without Doomscar, and you have to do a lot of bouncing and just staying alive and doing all you can to draw Doomscar, but that is certainly something I'm here for. So, I've introduced the deck. This video is dedicated to Oblivion. Oblivion is the latest YouTube member at the time I record this video, so this video is in your honor. If you want to become a YouTube member, go down below, hit the join button. $4.99 a month supports the channel. It gets you access to my deck lists a day before the video is posted, so you can get ahead of the others who might copy the meta, and you might get a video and cosmetic dedicated to your honor. Now it's blue and white. I have a lot of these, so we need to buy some of the new cards, I think, and start moving into the future. And because it's one of my favorites that's going in so many decks, I'm going to pick up... Never mind, it's only available through the mastery system. I love it when like my plans really go the way I hope they will. Let's grab this lesson. I mean, that's a lot of gold for a lesson, but I'm going to use this in probably every learn sideboard from now till the end of time. Let's dive in. Let the Azorius nonsense begin. 99% gamers, ready for battle. It's a long way to cast Banish into Fable, but we've got some stall tactics ready. We do have a ton of tap lands, unfortunately, but I think it's a keep. And what else would we be? We're on the draw. Assure of the Fallen. Okay, that's... Oh, that's Doomscar. Okay, then. Yeah, I'm just keeping anything that's not a land. Don't wanna get in too much trouble here. And the 1/1. See if the opponent has a Spellbinder here. They've got a Bone Crusher Giant, so they could just have Winota next turn. Should we try to play around that? Like, we could be dead. We could be dead. They might also have Skyclave Apparition, which I would love it if they had that. So I'm going to play this Glass Casket and hope they Skyclave Apparition the casket. It's good bait, plus it makes them think I don't have the Doomscar. Okay. Well, what do I do now? That's not very impressive. I could try to stall. I could also try to Shark Typhoon this, but they probably Bone Crusher Giant. Let's check for priority. No Bone Crusher Giant. All right, I think I deploy some of this stuff. No Blade Historian last turn either. Maybe they're just content to hang out. This is really risky, though, I think. Okay, there's the Apparition. I knew it. I knew it was coming. Yes. They're now convinced we didn't have the Doomscar. Unfortunately, we do have to blow up our own land. Or our own wall. I really like those walls. Saw it coming. No, since we're tapping out, we have to deal with things on the board, not counter spells. Weird, I know. Blue mana, please. I'm trying to click on it, I promise. Now we have the mana to use Tome, and we get a 2/2. Kenrith. Yeah, definitely Winota deck. Holy crap. Let's see what we draw. Do we block or do we go to 3? I think 3 is kind of safe. Next turn we might be able to Shark Typhoon double block. And we're going to gain 2 life back. Risky though. Feels risky. Okay, tap land. We still can't banish. We're working on it, but we can't do it yet. I'm scared. Hold me. Luris. If I counter this, am I dead? Not quite. If I allow it to happen, they get an Usher. Does that wreck me? I don't think it wrecks me. But they can give it haste. Ooh, they can give it haste. Okay, we have to counter. We have to counter. I guess we can draw... No, we want to see everything that we can. Let's scry first, and we have Glimpse of Freedom to do the draw, to try to dig us to the right things. Divide by 0. Divide by 0. Can bounce the Kenrith now. And then they can't replay it. Okay. Very weird, convoluted setup here. What do we need? We need an enchantment for the Banish into Fable. We also want life. I guess I don't need land drop that badly. But yeah, I'll just take the sciences for the life. Very funky situation. Alright, we have Saw It coming for the Kenrith. There's an enchantment for the Banish into Fable. This can block here. This comes in. So we need Saw It coming. Alright. And we have potentially life from the Tome if we're getting into too much danger. Let's see. The Bounty, no! Alright, still not lethal though. Super awkward though, with the Luris out. Well, countering it what doesn't do any good. Oh no. Alright. Saw that coming. Man, when they draw this card, sometimes it's so brutal. Sometimes it's everything you needed it not to be. And here's the attack. Alright. Well, they didn't use for unblockable, so we block here. Seed protects Luris. Token goes down to 5. Alright. We play the Omen. It really turns Banish into Fable completely on. Draw. My turn. Play this tapped. Pretty good. Depends when and how we get to Fable. It might be really hard to land this. I think I'd rather have something else. Alright. So we wait until they add the Life's Bounty to the stack. Get ready for Torrential Gearhulk. Here it comes. You. And you. Set them all the way back. Make some white knights. Luris returns. Yep, it's all back. Let the battle continue. Alright, another blue. We've got the Omen and another Banish into Fable, so send the Vigilant Army. Really curious what they're going to do on this attack step, so let's find out. Winota off the top. Okay. Let's start with the Omen. Divide by 0 and Doomscar. They can replay it, so the Divide by 0 doesn't solve much, but we can banish this turn and Doomscar next turn. So, okay. Let this resolve. I can go for divide by 0 if they bounty. I don't have enough left to banish. I have to go for banish. What if I go for banish now? They can give protection from something, so they'll get 1 trigger. They can also give protection from white, so it will definitely hit. All right. All right, pass to combat. Here we go. I guess if the Winota's not in play, it doesn't help them. Like, what are you going to do about that? Oh, this is still the main phase. They can replay it. But then they wouldn't have anything else on the board. So they protect the Winota, but everything else bounces, so they're not going to get to do anything. So many knights. Okay, that returns. What a weird sequence. There's the Doom Scar. Don't really want to blow this up, though. We have a divide by 0. If we attack with all this, will the opponent even block the things? Hiya. Alright, 1 for Winota. Take 8. I also need to kill this frickin' Lurrus. I could let my opponent have 1 activation next turn. How bad could it be? It can't be that bad. Plus we have the mana to also Gravenlore and set up for the future. We can also play Shark Typhoon here. That's pretty strong. One, two, three, four, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. They can replay Winota too. Alright, let's end the turn and see what they do. They don't want to attack this into the knights, and if they do, and they give protection from white, we can make a shark. Ooh, going for it, okay. What do you hit? Blade Historian, got it. Okay, protection from white. Let's make some blue. Five, 6, 7. I guess we just need 5, because the Winota will have double strike, right? So it kills it. This way we can still draw a card with the tome and gain life. I should have let them declare, but now. So we get to block white, and there, and a little bit of there. Yep. This has double strike, so double blocking kills it. There's your 1/1. Draw. Should be just about done. Opponent is at 9. Interesting. Doomscar. Clean it up. And Gravenlore open, along with Divide by 0. Another Blade Historian, but that's okay. No haste. Think we finally slowed him down. Oh my. That's enough. 3 to the top? Yeah, baby. 3 to the top. Well, I know that Red Mage doesn't lie. I've played this person before, so we will be on the draw. Or not. Alright, we have to draw land, but we only need 1. This is doable. This is doable. We gotta draw land. Hall Monitor, get him. It's a good one for Omen of the Sun. Oh, there you go. That will do. We'll have a nice little 0-4 to get in the way. Robber of the rich. All monitor. Sure. Rimrock Knight, okay. Alright, I'm definitely looking forward to this beautiful omen of the sun. Fervent champion. Attack with everything. Let's go. Get that hall monitor, get that Rimrock Knight. They might save one of these with a Bone Crusher Giant, but that's okay. Yep. Alright, we got another Birth, and we have a Glass Casket. I would love to save that for an Annex. So what do we do this turn? It's a good turn for Divide by Zero, too. Or just to make a 2-2. Try to block this again. Next turn is Divide by Zero Birth, so this can be the Shark Typhoon turn. What about Embercleave? I guess I'd prefer to divide Embercleave by 0. Maybe they won't go for it, and we can still make a shark on end step. Yeah, they go for it. So we could bounce the Rimrock Knight and leave them with an Embercleave, but since they get the free equip, it's so bad for us. I still think it's the play, though. Because then we can Glass Casket the Fervent Champion. And we will learn Environmental Sciences to gain some life and keep hitting lands, which is all your blue-white deck ever wants to do. Alrund's Epiphany. I think playing the Birth is better than the Sciences. And then we play you. And we hope, and we pray, that we draw an untapped land for Banish into Fable. Blow this game wide open. Don't think we necessarily need it, but man, would it be nice. Oh my. Oh, please. Come on now. Free equip. What a joke. Feel it, feel it. Feel the sensation. Oh man, we really need that untapped land now. I guess we'll have 2 walls, but I don't feel safe behind my walls when someone has Embercleave. Okay. Another casket is not bad. In you go. Maybe I should have taken the bigger one. The free equips really tilt me. I guess I'm dead to 2 Rimrock Knights, but I want to keep the walls. Okay, all that went according to plan. So now, we've done it. We've set up the Banish into Fable. See if the opponent wants to go for another Rimrock Knight or something like that. All right. Here it comes, the mass bouncing. Opponent reading the card. What? What's this do? How does it work? And the Embercleave, and the Omen of the Sun. Getting repeat value on your omens is so nice. Let's see if they replay the Embercleave here. Probably not, but would be funny. Even if they replay it, that's going to your hand. Classic red mage. What do I do? So much text. How does it work? I'll just do the courtesy fetch here now. Stomp. Uh-huh. And the giant is here. We know they have an Embercleave. I don't have an attack, but I can make a really big shark. Which I think is better than playing the Epiphany just yet. If I make a 5/5 shark... the opponent with their Embercleave still slices through most of the things. It's not great. But we do have enough toughness to withstand an attack. So we could play the Shark Typhoon and then play the Allrun's Epiphany the next turn. Ooh, that's gutsy. I don't know if I can handle that. But I think we have enough toughness to do it. Remember, there's a Rimrock Knight too, 12. So this goes up to 7. 14. Well, I don't think they can kill me if we block with everything. I don't think so. Just make a big shark. Just make a big shark and make sure that the giant dies. Let's Epiphany now. I was trying to find a way to get aggressive with them. But instead, we just get a bigger shark and we get a card deeper to try to solve our Bone Crusher problem. You know what? We can also just give our opponent a Fervent Champion. Let's go for it. Fervent Champion, not nearly as good at slicing through everything as a Bone Crusher Giant. Sorry, I know I was thinking really hard there. It's late. Hopefully the editor kept it bearable for you guys. I must beat mono red. We can never surrender. We'll see how equipped they are to kill the Yorion here with an Embercleave plus a Rimrock Knight plus a mystery card. I know that they get to kill it, but is it a trade? And putting the walls there means if they somehow power their way through the Yorion, we still absorb most of the damage. Alright, they've got the Frostbite. So they get to keep their champion. But they don't get to play the Rimrock Knight. Nice. Let's do it like this. You wanted a storm, you got one. You can tell we're ancient rivals. Because the red mage is trying their very best as well. Alright, attacking on the ground, not great. Attacking in the air, still pretty great. But do we need to? If we play this, we get a 6/6. 6 plus 5 isn't lethal. So we only need to peck away with this bird to threaten lethal next turn. It's a lot of toughness. What are you going to do about it, Red Mage? I mean, this game's been over 10 minutes. Do you have the stamina? Play a long game with me, even at 1:16 in the morning. Moving the sword. Mm-hmm. Sending the knight. Alright, so here we also want to be able to kill them even if they have like a frostbite. We want to get this thing dead. So I think it's something like this. Mm-hmm. What you got, Red Mage? Did you draw the answer yet again? No? Alright, Rimrock down. Re-equip. Could have paid mana to put the equip on the charger, so some kind of a trick probably. Alright. The Glimpse of Freedom, not normally something I would keep against red, but in this spot, where it makes so many sharks, heck yes, we keep it. So, I think we can safely attack this turn in the air, but there's also no reason to. We can just wait till next turn and swing for absolute lethal. Force the opponent to keep throwing their creatures into our board and seeing if they can disrupt the lethal in the air. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Gotta stop that from happening. So at least this. Alright, you got a trick? You have another Rimrock Knight? Yep. That does let you deal 4 damage to something, so you get to kill the other big shark. Nice. But I will do this every turn until you give up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, we have lethal on the attack now. Are you done? How many sharks does it take to pound the life out of a mono red mage? Turns out just enough. Alright guys, there's a chance we're going to put together a win streak here. I can feel it. I can feel it. On the play. On the play. On the draw. The hand is okay. Omen might be helpful. Divide might be helpful. I'm nervous. Might also get run over. This is not a deck that deals with just falling behind quickly very well without Doomscar. So maybe I'm supposed to mulligan for the Doomscar, but I don't know. This is mono white. Well, let's hope that Divide by Zero is good. That's nice. We can play that on 2, and then we can play a 3-drop without worrying about too many tap lands. Please no Luminarch Aspirant. Thank you. Seasoned Hollowblade I can divide. Okay, nothing. Love it. So if they don't have a fast start, maybe we can find a way to do this. Redain's a pain in the butt, but we'll see. Oh, Hollow. Not the kind of card you want to divide by 0. Yep, welcome to the new world. The new world of Elite Spellbinder. The card is a house. An absolute unit. Yep, Omen, not bad. Bash into Fable off the top. So we can divide this by 0, the opponent can hit our hand again. But at least it slows them down. Becomes a lot worse if they get to untap, so let's do it. This is gonna get funky. I'm gonna take the Environmental Sciences and just make sure I gain some life and hit my lands. I mean, they're gonna tax the heck out of my hand, but eventually, if we buy enough time, we can play these cards. And they should probably respect things like Epiphany and Fable. Those cards can win a game. Yep, respecting Fable. Ooh, a Savior as well. I block, but you may as well gain that life. I understand. Another land. I guess I should make sure that I resolve the divide. It's just kind of silly. Alright, so Teachings we're not going to get to cast anytime soon. Mascot Exhibition can be a real house against them. And we have a lot of land. So I'm going to take this and just kind of force Paulo to take the Mascot Exhibition. Maybe I should have just taken another Sciences to make absolutely sure we hit land, but I think we can do it with what we have. Like, this is another land, this is probably a land, this is probably a land. Uh-oh. Okay, now they're deploying, they're saying enough of this tempo nonsense, we need to get beating down, and they're right. They are right about that. Okay, untapped land. We can Omen. I guess that's pretty good against them. We are in trouble. We can build a board against them okay, but we haven't really gained a big mana advantage. Oh, Heliod. Okay, didn't expect that one. Just you? Kind of weird. Absorb some of this damage, or just take it? I guess there's bigger things to block. And we can gain more life from this later if we wait. Another land. So we play tap land, right? We can also Sciences and be set up for 7. And 8. But I think if we play the tap land here, we're in good position. Alright. Opponent knows that Epiphany or Exhibition is coming. We could hide the Epiphany. I think that's the play, but if we're going to do it, let's Omen first, get an idea of what's cooking. Doomscar. We've got to work our way through the Savior, but the Banish into Fable can help us do that. Are we going to have 8 next turn? No. So I think we do this. Opponent will probably replay Paulo, aka Elite Spellbinder. They'll see the Doomscar. They won't be able to get around it very easily. If they take it, we can still just pay 7. They also have a good amount of Indestructible, but Banish into Fable can mess with all those things. I don't know, this is gonna get funky. They do take the Doomscar, how about that? Another Savior, oh no, Jesus. How do we do it? How do we get through? How do we stop them? The creatures, they're attacking. They don't have mana right now to protect from the Banish, so if we draw 2 straight lands here, okay. So we go Epiphany, and we need a land off the top to banish. Didn't get there. Missed a land drop. All right, let's go for Sciences. Play this. So we have 6. We can buy the Yorion. I think we play the Tome, draw with Tome, and draw with Glimpse. Just have a whole bunch of cards. And try to be ready to banish next turn. And then Doomscar. I guess we could try to hit a Casket here since we know we're going to Glimpse anyway. Okay, not the greatest. Faceless Haven's a pain. Sky Mall. Where does it go? Okay. Okay. Let's see. This is gonna sting everybody. The dogs? Maybe? No. The dogs are cowering. Alright. Let's draw first. See if it changes what we want to do. Another Fable. Nice. Alright, so this goes here. I think we don't want to bounce it, that's for sure. But it eventually dies to the Doom. This can take 5. This can block 3. And then we take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're at 19. This is okay. They let the Spellbinder die. They get a +1/+1 counter from the Heliod. We have 8 mana now for Banish into Fable. But the opponent does not know that we have another one in hand. So we can both draw a card with Tome and cast the Banish. Seven Devotion. Okay, power up Haven. Counter. Where does it go? On a dog. Okay. Let's see what happens. All right. So if we target the Sky Mall, they can't counter the original cast. Then the other things we want to target are the Hollow Blade, and I think one of the Saviors we could try to bounce, but we don't need to because we have another one, and we're making Knights. The Knights are going to try to stop these things, so we'll target the Heliod as well. Heliod goes. That's a 2/2. Opponent saves the Hollow Blade, so Alseid is gone. So no Knight. That's pretty smart. Get rid of the Sky Mall. Okay, this has pro white. Let's draw before we're deciding what to do next. All right, so So this wants to go probably here. This wants to go here pretty badly. This wants to go here pretty badly, and we go to 2? No, we go to 1. That's risky. With a tome about to go off? What's the worst that could happen? This is going to sack to protect this anyway. Maybe I should play a little more carefully. Like so. Protect my life total. Well, we got the Aspirant. All this indestructible stuff, but we've got Banish into Fable again. They can sacrifice these, though, to prevent the Knights from happening. That's a divide by 0. We'd also play the Exhibition. Let's start by fetching in that deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this plus 2. I guess that's the most mana efficient. And they do know about the Banish into Fable, so they know it's coming. But we can always bounce our own omens. They go for another Spellbinder. Okay. I think that's just fine. I've got mana now. They take the Exhibition, they're scared of that. And another Hollowblade, cool. Targets. Do they dare attack? Well, we could just divide this by 0 and grab another Exhibition. And then do what with the rest of our mana? Glimpse? Draw? I guess. We don't need to banish right now. It's definitely keeping the opponent on their toes. Ooh, they have 4 cards in hand. Let's grab Teachings. That's good for some cards. So I was going to draw a bunch of cards right here, but I guess I don't have to. Nice. Foretell. Teachings. Draw 3. Graven Lore. Test of Talents. A little risky. That was a fun play, but now I can't banish. What have I done? What have I done? Well, let's draw with the tome. And let's definitely counter the Maul. Make you discard. Block here, go to 1. Yeah, block here. I'm gonna treasure those life points. Treasure them all. Down to 2. Am I gonna lose this? We do have 4 life from the tome. That's another Hollowblade. 2 cards in hand. I guess we have to bounce everything. What's that leave? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We can have 4 mana left over. That's enough for a Saw It Coming. Banish into Fable, putting on a show. What a card. What a card. Another Savior. Okay. Frustrating, but could be worse. And going for the Heliod. Do we counter Heliod here? It's pretty mana intensive to give things lifelink. Yeah, this is fine. Just you? Smart. Well, interesting too, because we could just draw a card and gain the life. Then we're down an artifact. If you cast it from your hand. Wow. That's something. I think I missed that one. I think my opponent did too, or they would have attacked more. A lot more. Glass Casket's not bad. Look at all this land. I think we throw a party. There's our critters. I think we play you. I'll take the indestructible one here. Well, they're all indestructible, but you know what I mean. And we'll hold up Saw It Coming for the Apollo. We could attack. I mean, it has vigilance. Opponent might just trade a Hollow Blade for it, but I'd take that. They're also at 28, so there's not a lot to be afraid of. Okay. Cool. One less dog. I love dogs, but something had to give. I mean, do I care? It does fly, which I do have some issues with, and 2 more dogs to get through. Let's counter. You could say we saw that coming for sure, from a mile away. Okay, not trying to bash through. Ooh. Okay. Well, we're playing that. But let's also test the opponent's metal. We're not attacking with a 3-2 because they could do a thing where they block with dog, sack, give indestructible, kill it. Accomplishes nothing. Birth. Plains. Epiphany. Make burbs. Guess I tapped wrong for sure. Should have led with snow mana here. Less scries. Middle of the night gaming. Oh, that's not bad. Oh my. Oh my. Peck away. Here comes a typhoon. I'm sure the opponent's like, oh great. Here is a tome. We still haven't even Yorianed. My god, this deck is... If it survives long enough to start playing the 6s, the 6 drops, it's just haymaker after haymaker. Here comes Hollow Blade. Divide that Hollow Blade by 0. Whew. Got there. All right. I'm thinking 2 wins might be able to set me for the night, and this one's on a hot streak, so we're sticking with it. Yorian, okay? The tomes are good against the Yorian. If it's Sultai, we do have to find our counters, but we have a lot. Well, maybe not a lot, but enough. Divide by 0 is a good start. Strixhaven. Okay. I don't think I scry. The opponent might have a Binding of Old Gods, and there are a lot of bad hits in our deck. Okay, I will scry. Talk myself into it. Glimpse of Freedom is not one that we need. I'll take more land. Don't need to play Second Tome. I'm also not in a hurry to play the Omen. The Cultivator, okay. Yeah, definitely not in a hurry to play the Omen. Much rather draw cards. We're going to need to be able to fend off those ultimatums. We're going to need the right cards to do the job. A little risky to go for that. But then we might have wasted mana. The opponent could go like Swamp Professor Onyx. Like that would be a lot. That would be a lot to deal with. Buys Yorion. Land? You have the land drop? Okay, it's a tapped land. Draw from the less used tome. Try to even them. In case of a binding. Could foretell, but I think it's more important to just keep drawing the cards. We are in trouble. We haven't found Saw It coming yet. Test of Talents would be a good one. Okay, they go for a Cultivate. This is the part where the opponent is usually too scared anyway. Alright, draw. Divide by 0. Draw. Well, we can at least stall a lot. Epiphany. Nice. So we need to foretell something. The opponent might be about to try to cast Yorion, so having a Doomscar foretold, I think, makes a lot of sense here. Also just makes opponents nervous. $11. Quandrix Cultivator trying to go the distance. A Herculean Feat and a Scoop! Oh man, they're always so afraid. All right, 617. And we are back for the post-game wrap. And although we did a good winning amount, we actually didn't slide high enough on ladder with this deck. We got to a spot at least 2 times where we were 1 win away and we could have locked it up and called it a night, but we didn't win that game. And it's kind of bizarre, but the deck did go 6-2, I believe that is. Yep, 6-2, 75% win rate on ladder. But it actually finished without making it into like that top 600, 500 range that I wanted to make to safely camp the spot. We did really well against Emergent Ultimatum, which I think is that 5 colors that you're seeing. The white is for Yorion in that deck, the red is for Valky. But yeah, I think that that's Emergent Ultimatum. We absolutely crushed that. We played the same person twice. They really wanted nothing to do with our list. They were clearly frustrated that we were countering all of their fun toys. So if you expect a lot of Emergent Ultimatum, I would say this is very good. However, look at the monocolor aggro decks. 1-1, 50%, 1-1, 50%. We got gate kept out of the spot we needed to be 2 times, once by mono red and once by mono white. And I think being on the play or the draw is super dependent there. You see our 2 losses both taken to mono aggressive decks on the draw. That is going to happen if you run this deck a lot. But the deck does pick up wins, and it is a very fun deck to play. By the way, if you want to get stats and also get to be able to do some deck tracker type stuff, go ahead and get MTG Assistant. There is a link in the description, and it is a totally free download. The link supports the channel. So I do recommend this deck. I think it's a good grinding deck if you have a short memory for those games against aggro where you're on the draw. And I think it's really good against the Emergent Ultimatum and other control decks in the format. It has a lot of interesting lines of play. Like, I found these games really engaging and very much my style. So I hope you enjoy it. Thank you for watching this video. As always, I will see you in the next video where we will try yet again to grab a deck and sneak our way into that beautiful promised land where we can camp that spot for the top 1200 Mythic. You're cool.